Somebody said too, man. What's up, everybody? Cutman, Matt Marr, Sean from Ball Siders. I don't know how it looks. To me, it looks like night vision. If I look crazy, it is what it is. We're all here at Duckworth trying something a little different. There's a producer right there. Tap in the engine. We all here. I can't see no comments, so y'all comment, please, about whatever you want to talk about tonight. We are just coming from the Vance Huff game. Can y'all see this? Y'all see this? Somebody look at it and see how crazy it looks. Yeah, yeah. This I didn't know. I didn't sit up. Oh, just look at the live. It's live. All this stuff. Hey, I know this is a little different. Bill, hey, Billis, why are you laughing, man? Hey, I got you. I got your hoodie, Bill. So hit me up. I'll drop it off on the way home. I'm going by. Anyway. Butler is. It looks crazy. It looks crazy. Hey, I look crazy. Hey, no, it really look like that. 20 views already. Anyway, Huff and Vance, man, what a game! Great physical game. Vance winning that game, 24-10. We gonna stick with it, man. I mean, I know it looked crazy. I know what's going on the camera. We may restart here in just a minute, but criminal state of mind, Joe Hughes. Thank you, Joe. Yeah. I'll see if I can get you that link, Bill. We on the phone, so we gonna try to see if we can get it over to you. But anyways, man, the physicality, man. I mean, it was a great football game from that standpoint. I mean, starting out, it was 0-0 throughout the first quarter. Vance scored on the first play of the second quarter on a block punt. They go up 2-0. Huff comes back, a beautiful slot fade from Tad Hudson to Jaquan Gibson, giving them a lead of 7-2. And then Vance came back with a impressive touchdown run, the first of two touchdown runs by Dalen Hollywood Smothers. Kevin Concepcion got the 2-point conversion. They went up 10-7. That was the halftime score. Third quarter, Vance stretched it out a little bit, 17-7. And then Huff was able to come back and cut it to 17-10 on the field goal by Nolan Hauser. And then pretty much you'll see an interview from Hollywood Smothers after the game. He told me he asked Coach Furby, "You want me to end the game before they went out on that last drive?" Coach Furby said, "Yes, please do end it." And he went out there and busted a big 45-yard touchdown run, give them the final margin of 24-10. I want to say prayers go out to Curtis Neal. I know he suffered an injury in the third quarter. I hope he's okay. I mean, what a season for Huff. They lost 13, 14 kids to early graduation. And, to make it as far as they did into the second round of the playoffs this year is a great accomplishment for those guys. Jim West, I like your comment right here. Tough beating a good team like Vance twice in the same season. Absolutely. That was my reasoning for picking Vance. They're a well-coached team, a lot of talent, and those guys showed up tonight and did what they needed to do to get the victory, man. Blakely, great job, Vance. Yep, definitely impressive. Cliff Andrews told y'all that if it wasn't for special teams, Huff would have lost the first game. Well, after a victory, you can always kind of look back. Hindsight's 2020, so I feel you on that. Now we see Butler, Mr. Sir Robinson, the D tackle. Sharing the fact that we want Butler, and then a little laughing emoji. Well, Butler went out there, and they very impressive tonight. 35-0 victory over Providence. I mean, the big thing for that one is just, the physicality. Our Cherie Glenn was there. She posted some highlights, from that game. Go to Twitter at LWOS Howard. I've tried to retweet all those highlights. She did a nice interview with, one of the Butler DBs. There's some, we're going to talk about some scores here in just a second. The guys are checking We're going to share those scores here in just a minute. But really impressive for Butler, coming out and just, pretty much dominating, that game, man. Shout out to Coach Hales and those guys. There was a big lead up to that game. And, Butler just pretty much, did what they needed to do. Now, keeping it with the Charlotte theme, Myers Park taking out Panther Creek 27-21. I mean, for that one, we saw Myers Park was up 20-3, and then we saw Panther Creek come back and take the lead late in that game, 21-20. And then, according to the Myers Park Twitter, KD Redford scored with 16 seconds left in that game to give them that 27-21 victory. KD, a great young man we interviewed earlier in the season. I'm glad Myers Park was able to pull that out. So next we've got a big matchup at 4AA West between Myers Park and Vance at Myers Park. That's going to be another great matchup for sure. It's kind of funny. Tonight it was kind of like a mini Charlotte coaches clinic at Vance and Huff. We saw so many coaches from the area at that game. I guarantee you we're going to see the same thing next week at Myers Park, guys. So shout out to all the coaches that we saw tonight. That was great. Great to see all those guys. Sure. Y'all just tuning in. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I don't know why. Some people say I'm looking like I'm in a movie theater feel. This is great live video, man. You will never see this again. I guarantee you that. I know the light is good in here, though. I don't get it. But anyway, Tim Pride, Charlotte will represent for the 704. Yeah, they're doing it. They're doing it right now. But we got some other teams to talk about here in just a second. So Tim Winters, what about those Monroe Redhawks? Ken, I know you were just remarking Monroe beating Kings Mountain. Yeah. So a big win for those guys going down in Kings Mountain and pulling that off. So, when we get the brackets and all of our normal equipment, we'll figure out who Monroe's playing next. But big win for Monroe. Proud of those guys, man. A lot of talent on that team. Coach Johnny Sowell, doing a great job, with that program, and a big win. And if you're Kings Mountain, man, I know you got to be disappointed. A lot of people felt like this was going to be a state championship team coming out of Cleveland County. A lot of great seniors on that team. Two of those seniors, Jabari Rice Wilson and quarterback Ethan Reed, will be playing in the Queen City Senior Bowl. So be good to see those guys back on the field one more time. But congrats to Monroe, man. Big win, for those guys. Okay, let's see here. Let me get this, Jeff. What do you think Providence has to improve on to get over the hump into that next tier of teams? Now, that's more of an off-season question. But, I mean, they've got some good guys coming back next season. Hey, you just got to get back at it. You got to, after you take whatever week break they want to do, get back in the weight room, analyze, your season and see, what you might need to work on and see which way you want to go, man. That's pretty much it right now until we can really, dig into some things and, see, what they want to do, honestly. It's hard for me to commentate that because no one knows your team better than your coaching staff. So, that's really a question that they got to answer. So some other scores. What else are we seeing out there tonight? Weddington. Yeah, Weddington lost to Mount Tabor, 21-10. That was a bit of a surprise. We felt like that game was going to be physical. It was going to be just a tough, old school kind of football game, but Mount Tabor getting that win was very impressive. Charlotte Catholic defeating AC Reynolds 27-0. Yeah, Salisbury beating Burns was another one. That was, I think they won that on the last second field goal. I think Joe Hughes tweeted out that video. I think they nailed a 46-yard field goal to win that game. Yeah, Salisbury. Yeah. I mean, that was crazy. But shout out to Salisbury, 7 seed, man, making a run. You know, that's that championship experience. I think, Coach McLaren was talking about experience being a big difference in some of these games. And, that's just an example right there of that really, making a big difference. Yeah, Cherie, I was surprised Weddington lost too, but, eventually, great teams, when they face each other, like Jim is saying here, Mount Tabor and Weddington were the 2 best 3AA schools in the state. I mean, that's a state championship level kind of game. It's kind of like with the matchup we had with Vance and Huff. Sometimes in the second round, you get these really, really quality matchups between 2 great teams, and then somebody, unfortunately has to go home. And, I hate it for Weddington. I mean, what a great dominating, run that they've been on the past few years. They have nothing to hang their head about, losing at Mount Tabor. So, good stuff for them, man. Once again, if you're just now watching, we are at Duckworth, right outside of Huntersville, not too far from us. I'm here with producers Justin and McClamrock. Thank you, Phillips. Richmond got beat. That was a surprise. I think they lost to Cardinal Gibbons 28-14. I know a lot of people had Richmond, going hard because they finally went east. But, shout out to Cardinal Gibbons, man. Another great win, for that program. It's always been a tough program out of that Raleigh area. And they're moving on in the playoffs as well. So, if you guys are watching, throw some scores up. We'll talk about, some of those games that are going on here in the area. But once again, we were all at Vance Huff. It was going to be a while before we got home. So I wanted to jump on and talk a little bit, about what we saw tonight. Going back to Vance and Huff, it was a dominant performance by that Vance defensive line. They really, kind of controlled things, for the vast majority of that game. Another part of this was really impressive was, Vance's ability to really kind of change tempo on offense. I was really impressed with the way they mixed in some of the tempo where they went, quick with the no huddle type stuff, and then they kind of shifted gears with the check with me stuff. And, I really think that started to get to Huff in the second half when they started cramping a little bit. I know Neil got hurt, but there were some other guys that were having some cramping issues. And, I really think, it was because of the tempo that Vance did on offense. It was very impressive. I think, they did a good job with that. They moved some guys around the offensive line. Obviously, those changes were successful. So I think it was a really great job by the Vance coaching staff overall, in this game. All right, a couple more scores here. Thank you guys for posting those. Robbinsville over Mitchell, 28-20. And then we got Murphy over Elkin, 29-24. Joe Hughes, Shelby lost. Weird things happen in the hills. Yeah, we didn't have Shelby, on the predictions, but to your point, Joe, I know you said weird things happen in the mountains. And, they did for Mountain Heritage. I remember seeing Mountain Heritage knocking off Mount Pleasant, one of our favorite teams to cover this season. So great season for Mount Pleasant. But Mountain Heritage moving on. And then Shelby, out of the playoffs in the second round. Tough night for Cleveland County, man. Shelby goes down, Burns goes down, and Kings Mountain goes down. Yeah, y'all in that Facebook group, man, it might get a little ugly tonight.
No, because they're all lost. Nobody can really say much to anybody else. So they all went down at the same time. So you can't really talk. If one would have won and the other lost, oh yeah. Shelby, I'm pretty sure Shelby was ready to get that Kings out there, but they all went down at the same time. So.
Yeah, man, tough night, man. Tough night. Couple more comments I like seeing on here. Cherie, I know Shelby's one of your favorites. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can't have everything. I know your favorite Butler won, but you can't have it all. Jim West, Dudley 77, G.C. Roberson 33. Good gracious.
100 points.
I saw in the first half Dudley had 55 points at halftime. What in the world? And we saw the same T.C. Roberson team defeat A.L. Brown last week, 36-29. And then they have a home game and give up 77 to Dudley. Boy, good gracious. Dudley, what are y'all talking about? I don't know why I look like this, man. We're trying to be professional over here. Everyone else comment professional, and y'all making fun of me.
I didn't say that.
You want to see how you look? Oh, that's how you look. Yeah. Oh, man. I'm over here being professional, and y'all want to make fun because I'm looking crazy. That's all right.
That's good, no?
We move on.
You like the kiddies
Because, hey, this is what showing football side does. We take lemons. Literally, I got a lemon right here. We take lemons and we make lemonade. There you go. Anyways, Dudley, great job. They went up to the mountains last week, knocked off Watauga. Now they went back to the lower mountains. T.C. Roberson. Well, thank you, Joe. Joe put it very well. Dudley whipped that ass. There you go. All right.
I like his wording there.
Thank you, Joe. All right.
Very eloquent.
Solo. Okay. Anyone went to Myers Park and Panther Creek? Let's talk about Panther Creek. Can we get some insight on the Panther Creek? Because Solo's one of my favorite guys. I like to see in that Facebook. He posts a lot of good stuff there, man. But is he a producer? Okay. All right. Well, Justin says you're a great producer too, Solo. So there you go. But Panther Creek was down 20-3, and then coming back to take that lead 21-20. Yeah, you have to give them a lot of credit, man. I'll tell you, it was a clean sweep on the show, but we all picked Myers Park to defeat Panther Creek, and Panther Creek could have laid down when they were down 23 and just packed it in, but they showed a great heart. I know they took the lead. I think it was a fumble recovery, returning for a touchdown. And then Myers Park, was able to put together that last drive to win that game 27-20. So, hey, Panther Creek, I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of people in Charlotte didn't know about you, but you got some respect tonight, man. You got some respect, man. That's a great job. They got that sophomore quarterback I want to keep an eye on too. Amari was really, impressive in the highlights that I saw at studying Panther Creek for these last two games. Good seeing you too, Sam. We saw, just about all the Talking Preps crew tonight. They were at Huff and Vance, and we always have a little fun on the show, talking about our show and their show. But at the end of the day, they're all football guys, and when you talk football with good people, man, it's always a good time. So that was stated by the engine over there, Mr. McLaren Rock. We don't mean that. We just have fun. Phillips Dudley was popping, yeah, they were popping, man. That was good stuff, man. A couple more scores: Cleveland over Lee County, 38-16. Thank you, Jim. Clayton over West Brunswick, 27-13. Thank you, Zoom Monroe, 35-14 over Kings Mountain. Big time stuff right there. Really impressive, man. Really, really happy for Monroe. If anyone's got the bracket, can we see who Monroe plays next? See who they got right there. Here's Jeff. Hey, Jeff. Thanks to Coach Ward and the whole Providence staff for changing the culture. Big things to come. Absolutely. I definitely have to shout those guys out, man. I tell you, I had predicted them third in the conference predictions this year. I mean, we had a three-way tie, in the Selmex 7, but that's a great job by Coach Ward and his staff. Taking a 3-8 team last year and then getting them to a point to where they're hosting a second-round playoff game. That's awesome stuff, man. And you may feel the pain tonight, but then you'll look back here in a week or two, and realize the progress that you made in that program, especially. I mean, when you get someone, you get a whole team to buy into your motto on the bus, and it really takes off. That's when you know you got something going, and that's awesome, man. That's really good stuff, man. Let's see. Got some more comments right there. Um, I got to scroll down. I'm on the phone. It's a little different. Oh man, guys, East Surrey 48, Pine Lake 6. Good gracious. East Surrey, man. East Surrey's tough. East Surrey's tough, man. I mean, they've been there, and they've been through the wars. They've won championships, and you got to go up there and try to give it your best shot. But once again, another heck of a season for Coach Trotter and Pine Lake. I know that's probably the best season in their school history, and
most school wins, first conference championship.
Mhm.
He posted all the posts for this year.
Awesome stuff, man. Coach Trotter, shout out to you, doing great things up there at Pine Lake. We'll see what you guys have in store, in the fall, because that's the great thing about this, guys. You don't have a long layoff.
Quick turnaround.
When the season ends in April. I mean, typically in April you're looking at spring practice. So, it's good if your season ends, earlier than you want it, which it will for most schools. You get right back on the horse, man. Take a couple weeks off, and then get right back at it, man. All right, Duff. Myers Park. What a game, came down to the wire battle. 8-0, go Stays. Okay, thank you. Kim, I'm gonna mention that here in just a second. Duff, can you give us some details about that Myers Park game, man? I'd love to hear, your perspective on that. We're just looking at brackets. We got a big matchup here: Charlotte Catholic and Monroe. That's a rematch from a game earlier this season. They're obviously in the same conference. Catholic will be hosting that game next week. So we talk about rematches. We saw one tonight. Hard to beat a good team twice. Catholic won that first matchup. That was early in the season. So it'll be really interesting to see, how Monroe adjusts and how they'll see how they'll be able to pull that game out. Let's see. Solo, I was at the game. If Myers Park plays that low energy ball I've seen tonight, they're gonna get killed next week. Oh man. Well, that's an observation from Solo. He's a guy that I know, has been around, Charlotte football and, everything. So I'll tell you this much. I think Myers Park will be up for Vance. I think, it's kind of like we talked about with Coach Ferg when they played Archie Kell last week. And, talking to him after the game this week, he said he knew that his guy's going to be up for Huff. And, it showed tonight. So I think it's going to be some of the same thing next week, when these guys play Vance for sure. Let's see. A couple more scores here, Jim. I'm talking about Mount Pleasant earlier. Mountain Heritage winning that game 26-15. Shouted out Mount Pleasant for a great season. Great job. Went 8-1. This was their only loss. So good job, for those guys. Let's see. Jared Holmes, Pine Lake QB, is a stud. That's Vic Garrido. Very talented young man. Still unsigned. I don't know, what it is, with that kid being unsigned. We're going to try to promote him and help him out in the best way possible, man. Let's see. Wake Forest, 35, Pinecrest, 21. Thank you for that one, Jim. Big win for Wake Forest. Joe, thank you for this. Catholic won 27-0 in the first matchup over Monroe. Now, it's hard to beat a good team twice, but then you have to factor in, that kind of score margin when you're looking at a matchup. So it's going to be a matchup we really dig into next week for sure. Okay, let's see here. Duff on the Myers Park game. Myers Park came out, jumped out early, but seemed to lose momentum. Panther Creek's QB, I like him a lot. 6'4" sophomore, kept him in the game. Myers Park didn't give up when they lost the lead and came back and scored with under 30 seconds left to take the lead. All right. Good job, Myers Park. That's a way to show, some heart and pride on your home field in the playoffs. Good stuff, man. Kyle Victorino is the closest thing I've seen since the Josh Ladowski days. Lake Norman. Josh Ladowski, man, I'll tell you, that guy was something else. He put up video game numbers in his days in Lake Norman. So, really, really good stuff, for that, for sure. Okay, Jim's got some more matchups here. Third round game regionals, 1A Murphy at Robbinsville, and I don't know, Northside Pinetown at Northampton. I don't know. Do y'all know where Northside Pinetown is? Okay, I think this is going to become a segment this week. Guess where the 1A school is. So we're going to find out where Northside Pinetown is. We may be there if we can go. Oh, okay. Salisbury, North Davidson. Kenneth's just sharing. That's that. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Okay. 1AA third round. Lewisburg at Tarboro. Northrow and at East Surrey.
Northwell won.
Yeah.
Northside Pinetown is 4 hours and 25 minutes from here.
Northside Pinetown is where is that?
Damn near in the water.
Out near the Outer Banks. So,
Right.
All right. Well, we will not be going to Northside Pinetown, but it's good to know where they're at.
Newburgh.
Okay. Let's see. 2AA St. Paul at Washington, Salisbury, North Davidson. Kenneth just mentioned that one as one to watch. We'll break that one down on the show next week. 2A Northeastern Eastern Randolph at Reedsville. Okay. Mountain Heritage at Hendersonville. So there's a mountain matchup right there. I'm sure they will like that one. Okay, just talked about that. 3A Western Alamance at Havelock. Oh, that's a good matchup right there. And then we just talked about Monroe and Charlotte Catholic. That's going to be a good matchup. Here we go. Clayton at Cleveland 3AA, and then Dudley at Mount Tabor. Oh, that's a nice little triad matchup with Dudley and Mount Tabor. I like the sound of that one. That's going to be some good football right there. All right. 4A Jim West, New Bern at Cardinal Gibbons. Butler at Grimsley. This is the one we talked
Jim,
about.
if you sure, Max Webb just said that Northrow lost.
Okay. Can we verify that? Oh, okay. He just posted it. North Rowan lost. Polk at East Surrey. So Polk County, the lower seed at the event. Yeah. Okay. So we'll see what Polk County's got in store for East Surrey. Yeah. Well, now they're not going to look at it. No. Now, for you guys that may not know, Grimsley is a number 1 seed, and they've got a very, very impressive D tackle, 6'6", 320, Travis Shaw.
Being recruited
He's going to be a focal point of that Brian Hale's offensive game plan for sure. But I'll tell you, Butler's got a veteran offensive line. So, you figure out ways to neutralize a great player. He's the guy to figure it out. That's going to be a heck of a game in Greensboro. Or try to slow him down. Yeah. And then 4AA Wake Forest at Rollsville, Vincent Myers Park. I know Jim identified Rollsville as one of the best teams coming out of the East. And they're taking on a traditional power in Wake Forest. And then, of course, Vincent Myers Park will have a lot of Charlotte people at that game, for obvious reasons. Solo is Butler returning to that 2010 form we all miss. Here's the thing with Butler, man. Anytime they have a quarterback that has 2 years in that system, we've seen them have success going all the way back to, Riley Ferguson and LeMay and those guys. It's continued on throughout the years with Davis Cheek, who's had a great career at Elon. Now we're seeing it with Parrish Metzger. When they have that, they have the balance in the run game with Davion Nelson. They have the veteran offensive line that plays well together. And then defensively, with those guys, Coach Stone coming in and guiding that side of football with all the talent that's over there. 2010 form, it's hard to say. That was years of sustained success. So, you kind of have to wait and see on that. But obviously, they're clicking on all cylinders right now. Going into Greensboro. Our food is just now arriving. Although the moon, okay, we've got food flying around here, so we're we're gonna end the show here in just a minute. Jim West, Roseville beat Wake Forest earlier this season. You know, we're gonna talk about that game a good bit on the show Wednesday night. Nelson is the real deal for Butler. Davion Nelson, a heck of a player. He's in the Queen City Senior Bowl, you know, for that reason and many others. Very, very great player. Fun to watch for sure. Great physical talent. Fun player to talk to. Interviewed him after their win over Rocky River this season. But with that being said, like I said, we're here at Duckworth's. I'm sorry I look like I'm in night vision. I don't know what's going on with my phone. We wanted to get on and, you know, do a little bit of a show tonight. We're enjoying, you know, a little bit of CFI fellowship. But we'll be back Wednesday, 7:30. Who's our coach next week?
Kevin Higgins, associate head coach of Wake Forest.
I got the associate head coach of Wake Forest, Kevin Higgins, coming on the show. And then we got a lot of playoff stuff to talk about. Solo, this will be the last question because this food smells good, and I'm about to dig in. Last question. You think those Cali kids stay in it? Okay. Well, you know, I can't predict the future. I don't know. That would be a question you'd have to ask, you know, Myers Park. You know, but they're great. They're great kids. We've talked to them. Very talented young men. And, you know, we'll be excited to see them up close once again. Yes, football and wings. I'll show you. I'm not lying. If I can get my camera to the wings. There we go. Rise. All right. All that being said, CFI, Charlotte Football Insiders, wanted to get a little bit of show in. Now we're going to have some fellowship. If you're just now tuning in, you'll see the playback here real shortly. Good night, everybody. Great seeing everyone at the Vance Off game. Appreciate it. Duff, hey, we can get together anytime, man. Great season. Ready to talk about it on Wednesday.